Asterisk, my game. What you see now. It's just a prototype. It's a fraction of what it could be. I saw multiplayer shenanigans, a cohesive narrative about the future of humanity, and a large physically simulated MMO. Starship combat where pieces of the ships actually fly out from each other, and you can actually, in a reasonable amount of time, build a colony of your own creation. In just a few hours, wage war across the galaxy. The burden of trying to do all these things was crushing, but I managed to ship a prototype. Many people played it, but now I need to become more focused in the game design, because without focus there's no cohesion to the game. That's when I realized that these are actually 3 separate games. They're not just separate, they form a trilogy. The first game, Asterisk Arena, will be a small physics sandbox to mess around with your friends. It will contain all of the base mechanics of Asterisk. The second game will contain the narrative and maps. Players from the first game who make good maps will be hired with money from the first game to make maps in the second one. And finally, if all goes well, Asterisk Arena will be a 100+ person per server MMO. While the first game should only take a few months, the other games will take a few years. Join me on this adventure where I... Jonathan Blow's new programming language for games? This thing is top secret. I've been wanting to try this stuff out for ages. Alright you guys, we're dropping the C codebase, and we're gonna try and rewrite the physics from scratch in this language. It will be future-proof. It will be the future of Asterisk. And if it's bad, we'll just back out. We'll just switch back to the C codebase. I read the Game Physics in a Weekend trilogy. We got the book Physics-Based Animation, which is a great book. We got a bunch of random news articles. Why is it that whenever you ask how to do something, you always get the worst answer? The real answers come in directly. This stuff is hard. Right when I think I get what's going on, I just see a bunch of new bugs. It's all finicky and soft, and it doesn't crash when things go bad, which sounds like a good thing, but it really isn't. You know, I kind of copied some code without understanding it, and I have these issues. I don't understand, the algorithm behind, let's say, the interpenetration of the 2 shapes. You know, and I just started getting these issues where, things would phase through each other, and so I'm like, okay, I gotta do that from scratch as well. But you know what? No guts, no glory. We're doing this. Manifold generation, interpenetration, gyration, prostration, impulse resolution. We're doing it all, baby. What's ChatGPT? You guys, I did GPT 3 years ago, man. Bro, I used to be able to turn in some English papers in high school that were written by GPT-2. And GPT's there's a wave now. You know, people are always trying to screw with ChatGPT and Bing, right? They're always trying to make it say certain things. Holy shit. What if that was just a game? You have to get GPT to say something. Not just that. Characters in an RPG. They know the current news cycle. They have their own political leanings and attitudes, and you have to talk to them like people and get them to say certain things for certain things to happen in the game. Look, let's test it out with the GPT-3 API. An old man in an RPG video game is standing next to a bridge. He's wise and trained in the art of Kung Fu, but has given up fighting years ago after he tripped and messed up his knee. But he wants to act like it's for a serious commitment to non-violent or something corny. He is able to open the bridge, letting the player pass by saying "pull his lever." He says "pulls lever" only when the player asks for it nicely and respectfully, and refuses if the player was rude. Alright, let's try this out. Hey player. Fuck you, old man. Alright, let's see what the old man says. Ooh, I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you. I'm sorry for my rude attitude. I've had a long day. Please, old man, open the bridge. Very well then, pulls lever. The bridge is now open. Here's a bit of advice. Never forget to show respect, even in the darkest of times. Dude. This could actually work really well. And I think I could pull it off too. Oh, and I can use this RPG thing with just some kind of simple one-button action RPG. And if you're nice to the townspeople, they give you buffs and stuff. And you know, I also want to know, is a new programming language for games really necessary? I want this game to be playable on the web, very accessible. You can drop in and check it out. See some funny AI-generated stance about the Chinese spy balloon. I'll do the whole thing in C. I'm not going to use any 2D graphics libraries. I'm going to write the 2D graphics from scratch, so I know how to do that too. But I'm not dropping Asterisk. You know, Asterisk is the main focus. It's got a 3-month development cycle. We'll just sideline in over here and add a second little project, RPGPT. You know, when Bob's your uncle, we'll knock it out in a month. We'll see if the idea is good, while developing Asterisk in parallel. Here we are after a few days of progress. We've already got animated sprites. We've got an animated tile map imported from Tile. We're trying to test out the collision geometry. You know, it's acting it's a little fuzzy. It seems the player can walk on water, though. Hello?
Right, good day, mate. Looks like you want survival RPG, keen?
You want me to do what? Fuck, I better get to work then. Gotta tell you, it's a little nerve-wracking to be working with something with so much history. But baby, we're chugging along. I managed to get this done after a day or two of work. The idea is we're gonna take all the cool shit from Arcane, the really important shit like the combat, and also the really hard technical things like the 3D animation, and we're gonna shove it into a prototype we can have something to look at. I just managed to get bone, skeleton, importing working. You know, Quaternians are actually not that bad. They're pretty infamous. They have a lot of history of like being hard. So I was scared. But I got this neat animal-looking pattern seemingly imported into the game correctly. You know what I'm saying? Then tomorrow it's onwards to animations, then the combat game design, and then alright then, we're adding another track to our calendar. Okay, we're also gonna do the arcane work. And underneath all this stuff in piss yellow is the college schoolwork, because I'm also in college. Gonna bet you thought I was gonna do a whole arc about how it's too much stuff to do and I have to drop stuff. Well, you don't half-ass 2 things, full-ass 1 thing. Wrong! I'm full-assing 4 things. Fuck you. Come watch me full-ass shit on my Twitch. Yeah, you thought this was a story of hubris and ignorance. It's a story of fucking victory. Don't you ever doubt me.